Alrighty, hello. Gave me a little pop-up screen there for a second. Hi, sorry about the shakes. I am a noob when it comes to YouTube. Not really sure usually how to get it professional. All right. Hey friends. Hey friends, thanks for being here. Hope you can hear me okay. How are we? How's everyone? Feels like Wednesday to me. Hey friends. I appreciate you. Got random stuff everywhere. Of course, my booby-trapped avalanche isn't quite as bad as normal. But, you know, only because I moved it to a different spot. Hey friends. Yep, some of the famous scissors. How are we? I have clean tiny attacher though, because I haven't unpacked my bag from Creativation. Hey Ranger. It's Patty. Hey, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. We'll just wait for people to find us and pop on. And we will get going. Still have lots of requests all the time for Scribble Stick videos. Just a reminder, I did do a Scribble Stick video already, a demo, so go back and look at the lives. You'll find a Scribble Stick demo. Also, if you go to Facebook, I know not everyone's a Facebook person, but I do believe I put this video on YouTube as well. Scroll back and you'll find some other Scribble Stick videos as well. Hey friends, thank you so much for being here. So I've done bunches, and I can do more, but I've even done specific videos like using set 3, the pastels and the metallics, and some very specific ones as well. So go check them out, and then let me know if there's a particular technique you want to see. That would be great. Hey, I'm glad everyone's with me. I so appreciate you being here today. Today we are going to talk about collage paper, one of my most used items. I've done lots of different sets. I even had to get on the website today to see which ones are still available, because, you know, eventually everybody has them and the sales slow down, so we discontinue one pattern and then a new pattern's in the pipeline, right? Hey everyone. So I do believe these 3 are currently on the website, as well as some more. And this set is called Painted Marks Text Collage, and I think this one's retired, but there are some left on the website. And flying things, I believe. But there's plenty of others as well. And one of my most used items, I always say that these are like, gosh, how do you explain it? These are like a Costco salad in the sense they look nice and organized, and then you open it up and it explodes like lettuce explodes when you put it into a bowl. You think you need 2 packages of salad for your party? No, you need half a package. Because I swear it expands exponentially once you get it out of the package. So how I store these, I actually have a collage paper drawer. And as you guys comment, make sure you pipe in with ways you love to use your collage paper. So make sure you look at the back, okay? Because you'll see of the packaging, because you'll see all of the prints, and you get 2 each of each print. Ooh. And then I just knocked my microphone off my phone. And infamous, see, look, Costco Salad, all of it, you'll never get it back in the package. All of a sudden, it's like, ugh, hello friends. It just becomes this, for me, an uncontrollable nightmare. The tins that were available to store gel plates in, the big metal tins, a lot of people will store collage paper in those as well. All right, so thin paper, kind of like deli paper, but definitely I think superior to deli paper. You can also get a plain, which is probably my most used. But 3 fun ways, or more actually, I wrote down more than 3, but ways that I love to use my collage paper. All right, let's start with tags. One of my favorite things to do ever with collage paper is to embed it into background layers. Now you don't have to glue it first if you're using gesso. or paint, because gesso and paint are glue. If you've never glued anything together, then I'm quite impressed. Glued anything together with paint. You know, have you ever made a journal page or something and you think it's dry and then you stack it? Oh, this is really gone and thick. I might have to grab another one. Yep, look at that. I looked at my desk and thought, I've got plenty of gesso right there. We're gonna switch to white paint because paint will act very similarly, because paint is glue, okay? So I'm gonna use white paint. If you wanna, the difference between the white paint and the gesso will be that gesso will have more grit and more tooth, whereas the white paint will not. It's not quite as gritty. In a background layer though, we're not gonna have an issue with mixing and matching, because it'll stick fine in the paint as it would in the gesso, as it would glue. So essentially you're skipping a step because you just don't need to glue it and paint it. If you're gonna glue it, or if you're gonna paint over it anyway, just use the paint as your glue. The over color, the whitewash over it tones it down, so it makes it feel more background, which always feels good. So this one is from Text. Let's see. Let's use some of this one. This one's from Things That Grow. This is also currently available. As long as you're muting it down, you can get away with pretty much any pattern in the background. Hey friends, thank you so much for popping on. We can do one that's not white as well. Don't have to use white paint necessarily. Don't be afraid to mix and match the patterns. So use some text, use some fronds or things that fly. Grids is currently available. I think I may not have mentioned grids. It's one of my most used because it's great for just little accents. Combine this with book paper, dictionary paper. I get old dictionaries on the used book market. The key for finding a good dictionary to tear up is to search for unabridged. Search for unabridged dictionaries. And that way you get those really, really fat ones. And I always get them for, I don't know, $5 or something like that, and then $3 shipping. I'm sure you can find them at, you know, bazaars and things like that. I just never have time to get myself down to, you know, flea markets, or sometimes thrift stores want a lot of money for a dictionary, $20. Well, I'm going to be ripping it up, so I really prefer not to spend $20 on a dictionary. Though I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's still not that much for the amount of paper that you're getting. But I do like to combine old book paper with the collage paper in the background as well. See how it looks just as good if you start with the color, right? So you get this great embedded layer. Just because I have plenty. This is mustard, this color. This is the newest sort of yellowy color. It's a little more yellow than cheddar. Cheddar will have a lot more, well, not a lot, but cheddar will have orange, more orange in it, and the mustard will be just a tad more yellow. So it creates just a great foundation. Oop. That's going to end up a little raspberry as well. Why not? You know me, I like my white space, so I'm not painting over it 100%, but great foundation. Spend a day, turn on Netflix, turn on whatever you're watching. I started watching Palm Royale on Apple TV. It is hilarious with Kristen Wiig. And pre-do these. Put them on, do this exact thing on journal pages so that you end up with foundations already done. It's a great yellow, the mustard. It really is. It's It is a great one. Okay, so I'm going to let those dry. We'll come back and do something with those in a second. Okay, so embed that tissue paper with other collage papers, with dictionary paper, book paper, right in your background layers. One of my favorite ways to use all of this deliciousness. Okay. Another thing that I'll do, kind of in a similar idea. I know that I'm going to end up dragging that. It's like I can see the future. Let's just mop that up. We'll use that some other time. Beautiful mustard color out there. Cool. Okay. Now, so this is an accordion book, okay? And I took a painting that I had demoed at, hey friends. I took a painting that I had demoed at a class at one point, and then I cut it in half and turned it into an accordion, because I'm sort of into accordions lately, apparently. And so whenever you do this, you have the back of the accordion that's sort of needs to be covered. You can always paint the back of the accordion, but I love to put the collage paper on the back. So I use original gel medium, not the ultra thick, the original gel, and glue various bits of collage paper on the back so that I've got print and patterned back of my book. Now, can I still paint this and tint this, and if I want to? But look how great, of course, but look how great the collage papers, because of their translucency, they're giving you a really interesting visual effect. So here's the front of the book. Remember last time I did a demo where I screwed up the book, the accordion book, the pocket, and using media board. You can still put media board on the front of this for covers, but it just gives me a nice presentation for the back. I think I'll tint that, maybe purple, since there's a lot of purple on the front. So let's see, we're going to use the new iris color. Nice thin tint layer on there. I like it black and white too, but I think I'll tint it just so it kind of blends, feels like it blends with that front. So easy peasy. Use it to fill in gaps. Collage paper. Did not turn out like much of a wash. My brush was not as wet as I thought. There we go. There we go. I'm going to give it a wipe to get some of that excess paint right off the top. There we go. Could have let it dry just like that, but I wanted it to be more of a glaze than a thick paint layer. So I think that looks nice, but the back has this nice tint to it. Okay, so that's another idea. I took the book that I did demo last time. This is the media board that I picked off, and I made this little book. I actually changed the image right here. I did cover the complete inside with book paper, and then I think I will combine it as well with some dictionary or some collage paper. So you mix and match, and you'll find once you've opened the package, you'll use them for everything. Okay, so sort of background layers, fill-in layers, one of my favorite things. If you are using the original gel, and if you're putting glue under the collage paper and over the collage paper, you will get a translucency. Will it disappear on everything? No, because it won't disappear on anything dark, but it will disappear on anything sort of light to medium. If you do it on something dark and your collage paper doesn't really disappear, well then I would just paint over it a little bit. I would tint it to sort of match the background. Yeah, I had to wipe some of that excess paint off for it to be a tint. Okay. But look how great it looks combined with the dictionary, right? I already started even putting little collage pieces in this little book. Again, if you missed that was the media board demo where I completely screwed up. I was going to refilm that, and then I just didn't have time, but you know, that's real life. Sometimes you have a brain fart, sometimes you don't. If you are gluing on your collage paper and it's getting wrinkly, I always recommend that you glue it, okay? Pick it up and almost stretch it and glue it back, and you'll be able to get all of the wrinkles out of it, okay? You don't have to live with the wrinkles if you don't want to. Sometimes they just don't matter. But sometimes you do want it to be perfectly flat. My original gel medium, there's two gels, there's two glues, gel medium and ultra thick. So you want to use the one that just says gel medium, because this one's more heavy and gritty like a glue stick, and you will be able to get that perfectly flat. So see right here, there's, I don't even know if you can tell, there's some wrinkles in that. So before it dries, pick it off, because what's happened is it's absorbed some of the moisture from the glue. Pick it up, essentially glue it again, giving it a little stretch, and you'll be able to get wrinkles out of even a large piece. Even some of the older tissue that had full faces on an entire sheet, you could get perfectly stick flat if you just pulled it up and gave it a little bit of a stretch. Okay, all right, so there's an idea. Another idea is I call it the Collage Crinkle, okay? So let's move back to one of these. So we know that we can glue this down. We know that we can glue it down and have it nice and flat, and we can tint it, and it gives us this great patterning and texture, okay? Sometimes I still want patterning and texture, but I don't necessarily want to do the glue thing, so I purposely crumple it, and I use it as a textural dimensional collage layer with the collage that I'm putting on. So this is going to go near the focal point. I wouldn't crinkle it and like put it up here, you know. It would look like a used tissue in the corner. Instead, what I would do is choose a focal point. I'm going to use this little image here that I had picked off of something else, okay? And then the crinkly tissue is going to draw your eye because it's going to be a change in texture. And remember, contrasts, changes in texture, things like that are what make you look at an area. Okay, so you don't have to staple it, you can glue it, but crinkly tissue, and then this layered over the top. Let's audition a couple of other things. Let's see what else we got here. I have a bunch of tags that I had made. Things. Actually, I think I like this better. This was a little visually too much, like this wasn't strong enough, this little face that I had stamped on the tissue. I think that's a little bit better. I think that's not bad. I always cut everything up to create something else. You guys know that. Get this stamped image. This is from the new stamp set called the, is it the Littles? Yeah, I like that actually. See how that tissue, the crumply, crackly tissue is going to draw your eye where you want people to look. If I use a tissue that is quite dark printed, that's also going to draw the eye. Because again, drawing your eye is about changes. It's about changes in what's already existing. So we had it flat and smooth. Now we're putting it on. Now we're putting the tissue on dimensional and crinkly so that it has texture and volume, and that's really going to help draw our eyes to the focal point. She's definitely missing pink cheeks. Pink cheeks. A little bit of scribble stick here that's not sharp. Pink lips. Let's see. Let's move that in a little closer so you're not looking at all the... I always forget you can do that. Okay, so there we have the tag I think it just needs something blue, right? Because orange and blue are opposite on the color wheel. So something blue is what's going to make it be visually interesting. Okay, so I'll dig around my piles, look for something blue. This is blue. Let's use that. Got this little blue scrap. See how that is going to draw you towards it, draw you near the focal point, because opposites again, it's about that contrast. And the contrast of orange, the opposite on the color wheel, is going to be blue. And so that will, putting that on near around the focal point will help us look there. Just trying to figure out where I want it to be. I think maybe tucked under right there a little bit. Sure. Sometimes that's all you need. I like it though. We'll add a little more. Little strips are lately one of my go-tos. It's almost like a nest. They make me happy. Sweet text and quotes and journaling and all of the other, I know the most is kind of fun, all of the other mixed media things that you love to do. A little turquoise on there for kicks. This is why we call it pox, because I end up with splatter all over the faces. Okay, so you do get a lot of cool mixed media layering happening by tissue in the background, crumply tissue. I think it's super fun. All right, another idea for tissue. If you paint your tissue, okay, paint that tissue with, let's use one of these, with gloss, okay? Paint it with gloss. What's going to happen, the tissue will take on a glassine quality. And what I mean by that is, let's just pull these out. It becomes kind of transparent and kind of crinkly. And let's see, this is Painted Marks. I love this one. I've used this one so much. Let's use that one today. See, Costco Salad. Costco Salad! All right. So you can paint with paint too. I mean, anything you can do to paper, you can do to this tissue. It's just going to be thinner and a little bit translucent. But by putting gloss on here, and by that I mean gloss spray, I'm trying to get out of the habit of calling it gloss because, or a spray, because it's so much more than a spray, right? But you can spray it on, if you remember the Megan method for cleaning your nozzles. You can pour it on, you can dribble it on, you can brush it on, okay? I'm going to do the Megan method, which is dip this in the water, make sure there's some water in the lid so that way I don't get a clog. Right now it doesn't look like anything. I will tell you, if you leave it here stuck to your work surface, what will happen is you will glue it there, because gloss is glue. But if I set this aside to dry, which I need to, I've been using cheesecloth to wipe up paint. And so then I have dyed painted cheesecloth. All right. So again, leave this here. It will glue to your paper and you'll never get it up. Put this somewhere else to dry. It gets a transparent quality to it. Just like when you glue it, it kind of goes transparent. It turns very glassine if you've ever played with glassine paper. So I painted one earlier. So it because you could feel it. You can definitely hear it a little differently. It gives this crackly, I mean, we've essentially coated it with plastic, with the glassine, or in a glassine style, and it just creates a great cool tint for your collage. So let's use some of this on a collage. You could glue it down flat. It kind of doesn't match really, but oh well. Oops, oh well. We don't have to match perfectly, do we? Let's do Let's do crinkly dyed collage paper right across. Try the collage paper with your dilution inks, with your distress stains. If it works on paper, it's going to work on Mel, you're cracking me up. It's going to work on collage paper. Okay? So don't be afraid to tint it to be the color that you need. And the gloss is so perfect for this. Look at that delicious texture and pattern. Oh, I love it. I love it. I kind of covered up most of what I did in the background. But remember, you gotta be okay with losing your background, because otherwise it isn't a background. Let's put a transparency on there. There's one nearby. Let's see. All right, I'm going to use this circle transparency to narrow our eyes down to where we want to look. Okay, so that means I'm going to build my focal point in, around, over, under this little piece of transparency. Let's see. This is a painting I had demoed somewhere. This is the color I need. So let's cut some of that out. Remember, I'm never too attached to things because you can always make more. If I ever do something that I think, wow, I love that, what I'll do is you know, hang it up or put it in a frame, or I have a lot of artwork in frames, and what happens is when I get bored of looking at something, I just change the frame. I take the paper out and put something else in there. It's easy. It's a lot easier for me than just like painting tons and tons of canvases. So I'm digging through my little pile. How about this? This is collage paper, by the way. So this is collage paper that I cut out. It's from things that grow, and I glued it onto a piece of background. All right, this says go where you feel most alive. It's a great dimensional piece there. Again, the blues and the turquoises and the oranges are going to contrast with that yellow background, that mustardy, yellowy background. Purple would too. Diana asks, can you glue collage tissue? Absolutely. So you can use ultra thick or regular Collage Medium. Let's just see. Regular collage. I wish I had more of it painted. In Arizona, this is already almost dry. Obviously, I have rolled over this piece of transparency with my office chair a few times because it's a little bit broken. Oh, salad. I just think when you open up a package of collage paper, it looks like this nice thin collage paper, you know, this very controlled pile, and then after you open it up and start using it, it turns into this. It turns into Costco Salad. So the reason why is like sometimes I had to be in charge of like dinners for entire church congregation, and you think, okay, we probably need 4 bags of salad for, you know, 150 people. Oh no, I'm here to tell you, you need 1 bag of salad, because you open that bag of salad and what happens is it you know, it was compressed and squished, and then it gets air in it and it expands, kind of like those mattresses that you can buy online that you get and they're rolled up into a roll, and then you open it and then it turns into a king size mattress, kind of that sort of idea. So I glue that one very well. So the collage paper does the same thing. Like you think you're going to be able to contain it. I swear it has a mind of its own. It just turns into some nutty, serious. Oh my gosh, it's insane. All right, so there's our 3 little circles backed with collage paper. I happen to use the colored, the ones that I just tinted with gloss spray, but you're more than welcome, of course, to just use the black and the white. Be really cool on the background. Let's put those here. Let's put some more crinkly tissue on there. Some of the tissue prints are going to be bold prints. Some are going to be a little more subtle. It just depends on what you're going to want and need for your tags, your cards, your journal pages. What can you put them on? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. So there's collage transparencies backed with collage paper. Yeah, like the loaves and the fishes, like the widow's meal. It feels like it's never running out. It's like, oh my gosh, there's more. There's more. I'll look at my cats and they'll have little pieces of collage paper stuck to their booties. It always makes me laugh. Okay. Yeah, makes sense? Cool. So here's my tags so far. Using the collage paper. Now sometimes you want to use an image for a focal point. Okay, for example, this one here. So that one worked out okay because I cut it out of Things That Grow, and then I used the gel medium to glue it onto the background, and then that sort of becomes the focal point for the page, because some of the images are focal. Yes, of course you can use them in backgrounds, but they work well as focals. Now, if you want more body to it, though, I've been known to glue whole sheets of collage paper onto a piece of cardstock. So I did that here. So this is one of the ferns from Things That Grow. And while I was waiting to go live, I went ahead and used original gel medium, glued it to white cardstock. Would have looked cool glued to dictionary paper, you know, whatever you feel like gluing it to. I went ahead and cut it out. And now this can be my focal point with a little more body to it. You can use it as a focal point glued flat, or just cut and put on so that it still has some transparency to it, or glue it to cardstock. It'll give you that nice body. When I say body, I mean, you know, it's got some stiffness to it. It's not quite so floppy as tissue. All right, let's see. Where are we going to staple up? Let's put a little bit of gnarly, which is the neon, through the stencil. Yep, next. Oh, yeah, Victoria, we'll see you soon. And I head to Los Gatos next. There's a few spots left in class, Creative Escape. And then I head to Portland for Art and Soul. I think there are a few spots left there. Not a ton, but a few. I'm going to put a little bit of white paint on this tag as well, just to sort of even out these rough, because these rough edges, I had just dipped that in the extra paint, right? So I think it's looking a little raggedy, and not that I like raggedy, you guys know that, but I think for this particular application, I kind of want to blur that in a little bit. Actually, let's do this. Let's cover that whole area. wipe through. It's a miracle I have baby wipes that are slightly wet. The curse of Arizona is the baby wipes dry out. Wipe through. So then you have to add a little water to them. Reactivate them. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. I think that's gonna be my focal point right there. I need something else. This is too boring. We're gonna do this across the middle. Let's. Ooh, my dog is barking. I apologize. That is a baby wipe with iris all over it. I kind of love it. We're gonna use that too. Piper. I locked her in here because my house cleaner is here. And Piper. Just let her out. Wanna go out? Open the door and see if she'll go out. So purple and yellow are opposite, blue and orange are opposite. So if you have those types of colors on there, you're gonna get some maximum contrast there happening. This is a piece of transparency floating around. Let's use some of this. Could have painted this first, this frond, before I cut it out, but I didn't. Can you believe I actually cut something out? I know, it's kind of a Christmas miracle. I like that the corners, because I glued it. She probably does want me to come. Because I glued it on cardstock and then cut it out. Oh, there's my house cleaner Becky, which is why I shut the door. She's still in here, my dog. Because I glued it on cardstock and then cut it out, I get this great dimensional effect with those skinny little areas. Is deli paper the same thing as tissue? No, it's kind of similar. Deli has more of a waxy coating on it than my collage paper does. My collage paper does have sort of a side that's shiny and sort of side that's matte, but even the shiny side is still pretty matte in a way. It definitely dissolves better than deli paper. It's definitely not like parchment. It really is a unique substrate. I've not found anything super close. Right, we're printing on. Okay, I've got to shut that door again. I'm so sorry. So one of the best things I did was hire a house cleaner. She is so much more detail oriented than I am. I work full time. I'm just justifying it. And it's so nice to have somebody else clean. So of course I clean and maintain. I just do every 2 weeks, I think. But to do things that I'm not very good at doing, like baseboards and fans and blinds and just all that stuff that you think, I'm gonna get to that, and then you never get to it. I mean, I would give up TV before I gave up my house cleaner. Does that make sense, Carola? Not sure how to say your name, but that was a pretty name. My mother-in-law's name is Carol. I've never seen it with an A at the end. I think that's really cool. Probably saying it wrong because maybe you're Dutch. I can, from your last name, maybe. All right. There we go. think we should paint the, maybe not. I was thinking of painting the quote turquoise. But what I'll do instead is make little additions. You are from the Netherlands? Yeah. Very cool. I always tell the story. First time I hired someone to clean my house, I had said to her, she was telling me all this stuff that I'd never thought of doing, like vacuuming the back of a sofa. I was like, you're supposed to vacuum the back of a sofa? What the heck? Anyway, so she was kind of going room to room. Okay, in this room we would do this, in this room we would do this. So I'm listening, and I don't know where she was, but I was like, oh, I'm sorry that this is kind of messy. And she goes, oh, honey, we all have our talents. And I thought, you know what? You're right, and this is your talent. It's not my talent, and you're hired, and I don't care what it costs. Oh. So, yeah. If you can work it in, it's worth it. Especially if you resent. I've never been good at it. I resent it. I love a clean house. I love it. Getting it that way, I get resentful. So, anywho. All right. Oh, thanks, guys. So, here we go. These are our ideas. We'd used cardstock, glued the tissue to cardstock so that you can have more body for a focal point. Okay, that's that idea. We use gloss on the tissue to make it kind of like glassine, give it a cool, crinkly, a cool dyed effect. We've embedded it. Collage in the background with just with paint. You can use glue too. Also use collage paper as a dimensional collage element. It doesn't always have to be glued down. And use it to back your book projects or something that's going to have a back to it, that you want it to have a nicer presentation, but not necessarily, make art on the back of it. So that I backed this accordion with it, gave it a little tint. Great use for that there as well. And somewhere else I had that little book. All right, who knows where it went? Okay, so those are my ideas. I sure appreciate you guys for hanging out. I can't wait to see how you use your collage paper. I would say these are probably the top few ways that I use collage paper all the time. Oh, and gluing it to the back of transparencies. Don't forget that as well. Let me flip this around so you get a better view rather than paper that's painted everywhere. You see the samples just a bit better. Yep, I'll be at Art and Soul here in a couple weeks. Los Gatos Creative Escape coming up as well. And after that, UK. So I look forward to seeing you guys there, if it's in the cards. Mel says, use the collage paper for whatever you think of. It will work. It does work. It's a very unique substrate that I can't really live without. All right, bye everybody. Have fun with your collage paper. Get it out and use it. And make some magic. Bye everybody.